Get in, loser, we're going to IKEA. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, you and I are going to IKEA. We're gonna pick some pieces out and I am challenging myself to find items that are all under $20, which at IKEA I feel like shouldn't be too hard to do because they already have a ton of great pieces that are great as they are. But I really wanted to find at least one furniture piece that was under $20 and we can beautify it. We're gonna try some new ideas and new techniques all on a budget, and I always have so much fun with these. I'm keeping warmer weather and springtime in mind for these, so these are perfect for the new season. So there are two IKEA locations in Illinois and I've never actually gone to the other one because I've always lived closer to the one in Schaumburg. So this is gonna be a first for me, and I know all the IKEAs are pretty similar, but there are some little differences that I've noticed in each one of them. So let's go shopping and get everything that we need. I thought this was a light.
Not a baby bottle?
No, it's like a water dispenser or beverage dispenser. Very interesting. What Xbox is this?
This is the 360. This is my first Xbox. That's crazy. I'm old.
A relic.
This is a space-saving hack. So if Tina and I lived in a studio, I would just sleep under here. And then Tina would do this. And then she could go on top.
Bunk beds. Look at the new ceramics, you guys. I really like the finish on them. These look expensive, but the price is so good. $3.50 for this big plate, $3 for the small ones, and they're almost all out for good reason. Another new item, I really wanted some plates with this blue splatter like paint look, but they're all sold out. Next time I'm gonna come back for these. Brian said he doesn't like these though.
It looks like germs.
Germs?
Just kidding, I love IKEA.
Okay, it is giving a little Rona, I guess. I have secured the $20 table from IKEA. I honestly can't believe how affordable this is because it looks like it's really well made. It comes in a bunch of different colors and I went with the black one because I think that will look good with my design. And since this is metal, this is a really easy table to just give it a nice coat of spray paint if you want to change up the color. And they did also have a $25 version, which was newer in this beautiful green color, which I was very, very close to getting, but I just decided to just do black. We just need to get the top out right now. Oh. The assembly for this looks really easy. So this is the tabletop. I love that there's a lip because you can use this as a tray. And I've seen quite a few people using this to create a mosaic or a tile table, and that is what I'm going to try my hand at today. I love the idea of putting this on a balcony and using it as a little cafe table for my morning matcha. It's gonna be so nice to sit out there. My idea right now is to do some type of border, and then I definitely want some text on here. This is 100% inspired by Letterfolk. They have these amazing tile mats with interchangeable tiles that you can switch up whenever you want. Hold please. So I grabbed some hex tiles. These were like $6 or $7 per sheet, which means they actually cost more than the actual table, but still very affordable. So I'm gonna start by putting it on the table, mapping out a design. I have a couple ideas of what I want the table to say, but I don't know what will actually fit on the table because it is a little bit smaller. And these tiles are not super tiny, so we'll see what we can fit on it. This is totally giving me flashbacks to my DIY bathroom floor tile that I did a couple of years ago. Comment comment below if you remember that, because I cannot believe that I did that as my first ever tile project. That was actually pretty crazy. We ripped off all the old tiles, we went down to the subfloor, we moved a toilet for the first time. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I was just following along YouTube videos, and I just remember getting so anxious that something could go wrong at any point in time. But somehow we made a beautiful penny tile floor, and it was worth all of the back pain from working on it for so many days. So to do this tile project, it feels a lot less daunting, and if you've never tiled before, it actually is not that difficult, especially when done on a smaller scale like this. It is a lot more approachable, and if you have tiled before and you have some tiles and grout left over, this is a great way to use up some of those leftover materials. Okay, so a little bit of a problem here. When I was planning this, I always had envisioned 2 lines of text. So I was thinking cozy club, homebody, stay home, or more please. You guys get the idea. But clearly there is not enough room to do that. So I'm gonna come up with something else, because I think cozy looks cute on its own, but I really just want some other text. I could also put a flower down here. Let me see what that looks like. So if I just put a little flower here, maybe that will look cute as well. Also, this is just so fun to put all the little tiles on here. Oh no. I mean, that is pretty cute too. Wait, I have an idea. Maybe I can cut out vinyl and then I can put the letters inside the tiles, so we'll still read Cozy Club, but have a little bit more interest. I like that idea. I think that's what I'm gonna try. So I'm just using some fast drying super glue as well as E6000 to put this all down. No need to use any mortar, which makes this a little bit less messy. But for the spaces in between the tiles, you're gonna see that I use grout. But I just learned that you could use plaster of Paris. That is a really good option, especially since this is kind of like a mosaic project and you don't need anything super heavy duty. Guys, how freaking cute is this? It is really coming to life, and I think the hardest part now is to fill up all of these little gaps. So I have my little tile nipper here. These are really easy to use. You basically just put the tile in and squeeze it, and then it cracks it in half, kind of like this. And honestly, I'm not worried if this is perfect, because once we put in the grout, this will really fill up all of the gaps and you really won't be able to tell. I honestly was expecting this to take me a lot longer, but you could definitely do this within a day, especially if you have a fast drying glue. This is definitely a fun DIY to do for spring or summer. You guys, chrome is really making a comeback. I would love to hear your thoughts and if you guys like this trend. I feel like IKEA is doing a really good job at introducing it in their home decor and also in some of their furniture pieces. So I picked up this candle holder. I love the shape of it. I think it's perfect as it is, and it's only $10. It is pretty well made. So when I saw this, it reminded me of some floral candlestick holders that are a lot more expensive, and I want to recreate a similar look. So we're gonna try that with some air dry clay, and for some reason I've been really loving the look of daffodils. So imagine that this part is those orange petals that are in the center, and then we have the yellow ones coming outside, and then the candlestick will go inside. That is gonna be so cute. I can picture it in my head, so now we have to translate it so that it looks good on these. So I'm using the Sculpt air dry clay, and whenever I use air dry clay, I don't have a lot of luck when I'm molding it on top of something else, but this clay looks a lot more promising, so I hope that all the work that we're gonna do today is not gonna be cracked by tomorrow. Essentially, we're gonna create two pieces for the flowers, one for the center, which I learned is called a trumpet, and then the petals on the outside. I've been testing a couple of different air dry clays, and this one works really well, so I will link it down below for you, as well as everything else I'm using in this video. Clay has always been a therapeutic outlet for me, and this past month has been pretty hectic for us, and we've been going through some family things as well. So working on this project allowed me to shut off my brain and just work with my hands. I feel like we've gotten into the swing of things again, and as it gets warmer out, people naturally just want to get together more and throw more parties and events. So we have been trying to do our best to balance work and life. I feel like it's a constant battle to try and do it all, and I'm sure a lot of you will understand when I say sometimes it just feels like you do not have enough time left over for yourself. But if you could just set aside 30 minutes a day to do something to fill up your own cup, you will just feel so much better. It could be working on a DIY project, going for a walk, or maybe journaling. For me, I've been diving more into reading. I just got my hands on Emily Henry's new book. I cannot wait to start it. And I've also been sketching just for myself with no intention of doing anything with it, just doing it for me. Personally, I notice a big mood change, and it even helps me out creatively. So I hope that you guys take this as a reminder to make time for yourself, because you definitely deserve it. Okay, so I kind of just made this up as I went along. I wanted the petals to stand up a little bit, but it was way too heavy. So I basically took a piece of cardboard, rolled it around for the support, and then with paper towel, I was able to kind of adjust the height of each one of the petals. So you kind of can move it around and mold it before it dries down completely, but I think this is gonna work. Pretty happy with how this is looking. I just have to do the second one now. I wasn't sure what tools I was gonna need, so I've made quite the mess. Guys, this bag I've had since college. I basically put all my tools in here. You can see I labeled everything with my name so it wouldn't get mixed up with everyone else's stuff, but all of this stuff is like a decade old, and I'm pretty sure this sponge is also a decade old, maybe. I have no idea. Maybe this is new, but it's not moldy, so I'm still using it. Not gonna lie, guys, I am pretty proud and happy with how these are coming out. So I've let these dry for 2 full days now. So I think they are ready to be painted. So at this point, I've sanded it down and I made sure the tips weren't like too fragile. So I feel like this is gonna be very durable. So I'm just using regular craft acrylic paint. And for the bottom part, since it is metal, I usually would spray paint it, but I forgot that the city of Chicago doesn't sell spray paint. So I haven't been able to go out to get it. So instead, I'm just going to paint it regularly. My original plan was to paint it green to look like stems, but I also think that you could rub and buff this and it would look really cool. So I'm going to paint the top part first, and then I'll decide later on what I want to do with the actual holder part. Are you guys seeing the difference? There is something about a glossy taco that just makes everything look so much better. All the details pop out. I mean, this looks pretty good too, but in comparison, this looks like a ceramic glaze and it just pops out so much more. So definitely would recommend putting resin on top of your dry clay if you guys haven't tried that before, because this is actually my first time and I feel like I have to do this every time going forward because it just looks so much better. For this next project, I wanted to show you guys what you could do with either ceramic pieces or glass pieces from IKEA. These are pretty affordable. So I found this in their plant section. It's supposed to be a plant pot, but you honestly can use it for anything. It reminds me of something that you would find at Anthropologie. It came in 2 different colors, and originally it's $10. It was on sale for only $5, so I had to pick it up. And then I found the serving tray. It is very simple. It was only $8, a very good size. There are a number of different ways that you can use this. So I'm gonna show you 2 different options. So these are the star of the show. These are basically decor tattoos. So I've seen similar products to this where you can DIY your own decals, but these ones really stood out to me. So this is from the brand Suteca. I don't know how to say the E with the dot on top, so I hope I said that right. They have tons of different designs. I just went with this Matisse set because I love the shapes that it comes with. And I'm also trying to add more pops of blue to my place, so I thought this was perfect. On the back, it gives you some examples, but you can use this on tons of different surfaces. And if you choose to use them on things like a plate or a mug, they're actually food safe. So we're gonna try these out today. I actually haven't seen anyone try these on glass before, so we're gonna do that first. This is so cool, you guys. It honestly looks store-bought. According to the instructions, the first time you bake it is just to have everything dry on there, but now we actually have to pop it into the oven one more time for an hour and then it'll be ready. This is all baked, ready to go, and it is food safe, which is amazing, which means that you can wash this and the design is not going to go anywhere. So when it comes to plate projects like this, I have 2 different options that I want to share with you guys. So the first is actually by turning this into into a serving platter. I have a wooden bowl, which is also at IKEA. And what I'm thinking of doing is flipping it upside down and then putting this on top and just gluing it like so. You could do this with any combination of a plate and a bowl, and it just instantly elevates it. So that is the more functional option. And the second option is to use this as artwork on your walls. And you're probably wondering how I can hang this up. And the answer to that are these plate hangers. This basically has an adhesive backing, kind of like a stamp. So you basically just add water, it turns into a paste, and you could just stick it onto the back, and then this hook makes it really easy to hang it up and display any plate that you want. So those are two really fun ideas for a plate project like this. Let me know in the comments down below which one you guys like better. Okay guys, let me know what you think about these projects. I feel like all of them anyone can create. Even if you're a beginner, these are very approachable and you can customize them however you want. I really can't choose a favorite between these, but when I showed Brian the daffodil candle holder, he said it looked store-bought. So I feel like that's like the biggest compliment anyone can give. The cafe table is making me so excited to work on our balcony and like actually sit out there and enjoy my matcha in the morning. So I'm coming up with ideas for the balcony for either this month or next month, so stay tuned. If you like this video, don't forget to like it down below and also subscribe if you haven't already. I have a lot planned for these next couple of months, so you guys do not want to miss out. And if you want to see daily updates from me, you can follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!